Starting with very base functionality on Teams, that once you log into Teams, you see this kind of window. In this, the very first option you need to look at is joining a team or creating a team. Where do you find that option if you need to join a team or create a team? So in that case, if you click on Teams, here you go your first option, which is join a team or create a team. So this option allows you to create a team or join with a code. This joining with a code is available only for the members of the team, meaning external users cannot use this code option. But if Sunny is creating a team and she has exposed the code and she has provided me a team code, I can just simply provide the code and I can join. What is the benefit? Benefit of this code is I do not want to create team and invite 100 users. What I'll do is I'll create a team, I'll expose code, and that code I'll circulate it to everyone either on Yammer or somewhere. So then they will just simply pick that code and enter that code. Once I'll enter that code, I'll click on join team. Accordingly, I'll become the member of the team. This is the first step when we are starting with team. So now imagine I have created a team is ready with me. Now what we will see in every team, in a team we see the very first option is we'll see channel. One team can have multiple channels, and if I have multiple channels, every channel will have their own post, their own files, their own wiki page by default. So these are the options which are available by default for every channel. Now every channel in a team is independent. Though this is a logical categorization which comes under a particular team, but these channels are different. So what this logical categorization helps you to maintain visitors, guest and visitor, guest, member and honor who should see all these channels. But if you talk about individual channels, what I share in this particular channel, it will be completely independent from what I share on this channel. Whatever the files are available on general, these files will not have anything to do with the next channel. So one team can have multiple channels. Now, if I have many channels in a team, so in that case, we do have an option to make it show, which will come by default. And if I feel that these options are not really these options are not really useful, then I can hide it. The moment I'll hide it, so it will become a hidden for me and I can hide n number of channels. So in one team, I can add n number of channels. So this was a basic introduction when it comes to teams, creating a team. Now looking at options which are available in Microsoft Teams. Before getting into all of those options, can anyone can help me out with answer to this question, why Microsoft has introduced Teams? What was the reason of, or what was their thought process of introducing Microsoft Teams?
They want to compete with Slack.
Okay, so the major thought process of Microsoft to introduce Teams was that whatever people do to collaborate, everything should be at one place. We are running our Tamboard, it should be within Teams. We are making OneNote, it should be in Teams. We are taking calls, it should be in Team. I am working on emails, it should be in Teams. I am working on forms, Power Automate. I'm working on a lot of other applications. Everything should be at one place. That is where they have launched Teams and they started moving towards deprecation of Skype. That I do not need Skype. Even they had planned to deprecate Outlook as well, but that was not really a viable option because a lot of organizations are using it traditionally and it's not really easy to jump onto Teams and start not using Outlook, because this was one of the survey from one of the organization that that pushed it that out of our 100% time which we usually spend in office, 50 to 60% time we do check emails. So instead of spending that time just on one application, spend it on Teams, where you'll have everything available as a one package. So that was their mindset and understanding before rolling out Teams. They are working on it, but now we are about to deep dive into the different features and options available in Teams. Anyone has any question till now?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
You created the RDA Global team,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
created the channel RDA India.
Yes.
And that team is open to everyone by providing the code. And I saw that you hide the RDA. That's something that you as the owner can do, but no one else can, right?
This hide and show is just for meaning just to exclude this from the available visibility perspective. But this will still be part of this RDA global team group always. Even if I'll make it show or
Uh huh.
hide,
Uh huh.
this will always be available. The only difference will be that it will become like, say, imagine if I have, in this case, it come one hidden channel. Imagine in my MS team group I have 100 channel. Now I cannot show all the channel to make it very cumbersome. So what I can do is I can pick only top 10 which I always use. Remaining all 90 I can make it hidden, so that if I need to use, it will just be very neat and clean. Only one row, one hidden channel. Instead of this, it will come 90 hidden channel, and out of which if I need to use, I can make it show. Otherwise, simply look at hidden channel and click on RDA India. As simple as that. So
Okay, but
this is
that's
just to
something.
make neat and clean, but this has nothing to do with permissions.
Okay, got it.
This permissions will always be coming under settings. We will look into that part, and where to generate that code, we will look into that part as well.
Okay, thank you.
So
Any
this is so
mhm.
this is only per user. I can have it hidden and she could have it showing and so on. So it's up to
Mm-hmm.
No,
you.
Oh, okay.
no.
Then I understand.
It is available across.
Okay. So if you make it hidden, it's hidden for everybody.
Correct. It's hidden for everybody because this is a collaboration portal wherein whatever I am doing, so it will be available. It will be available across the team. So the same settings will be available across the team.
So who has the access to do that? Who can hide those channels?
Honors,
The
any of the
owners.
honor,
Okay,
any
you
of,
answered my question
I
now.
am
Okay.
little doubtful on this. Maybe members, we need to check if members can do it. Honor definitely can do it. Members, we need to see if can do it. I do not want to give wrong answer.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else has any question before we dive into different features?
Is there a limit, Prince, on the amount of channels you can create?
I do not see through. Even if there will be a limit, we can check it on MSG, and that will be a massive limit, but not really like some 10, 20, 100, 200,000. Not like that. At least you can create a good number of channels.
And in reference to, thank you, and in reference to the code, when you create, you say you control to control the amount of people you can access the
No number of limitation on number of people.
right.
Entire organization can join.
Okay, so that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at now different features which Microsoft Teams provide us. The very first option is activity. So when it comes to activity, whatever we do or whatever the notifications comes in where I am involved, it will come under my notification section. So now when I see my notification section, if anyone has mentioned me or if someone has added something where I am part of, or if I am doing something or I need to do something, any activity which is related to me comes under my section, and this is user specific. If I am logged in, this activity belongs to only me. Whatever the activity is, I need to see through. If someone has reacted on my message, someone has dropped me a message, everything will come under this activity section. This is first section, which is activity, just to stay on top of everything. To get to know that you have not read these notifications, go ahead and read all of these notifications. That is first. Second one is chat. Now chat is one of the other dedicated channel. If I look at one chat, imagine if I'm looking at chat, see I have again chat, files, organization, and few other tabs. This is again one of the other dedicated channel which we can use to have a persistent conversation with someone. I need to share file, I am sharing file. What's the difference between a channel in a team versus a chat option? Can anyone answer? I have files option, I have chat option, I have organization option. All the options are available in chat. Same options I can make it available under Teams channel as well. Then what's the difference between a chat and a channel? Just the number of users. In Teams, I can have n number of users, I can invite it. But in case of a chat, it is by default 1, 2, or 3 persons. If we need to add more, we definitely can add. The only one major difference is on usage of apps, which we will look at a little later stage, which I'm going to cover under apps. So that is where we will come on to this part later. But our chat is equivalent to our channel in Teams. So the only difference is that this will be dedicated to people and we will have more people oriented controls and functionalities available in chat. When it comes to Teams, more collaboration related functionalities comes into picture. Next option is teams. This will give me all the list of teams where either I am part of or I have created team. Based on my access, it gives me feature, it gives me manage team, add channel, all of these options if I have access. If I do not have access, it will not allow me to see all of these options as by default. So these will give me the different list of teams. I can create a team or I can join team from within teams option. It has given a filter option as well. If I have a lot of teams, I can do filtering on name based on whatever the name I want to give. Next one is it has a collaboration with the calendar. So whatever my Outlook calendar, it is completely synced with Teams, wherein we have option to schedule a new meeting as well from the Teams itself. If I am using Teams, as I mentioned in the introduction part, that Microsoft had that intention that we do not want to use Outlook. So if I need to schedule a meeting, I can schedule pretty from Teams itself. I do not need to touch Outlook. I want to set up a quick call. I can directly click on Meet Now and I can copy the link and I can send it to anyone. So we do have certain option like today, week wise, month wise, we can see all those calendar types. Then we have calls. So in case of calls, we need to see whatever calls I have made, what my contacts are, and voicemail. If any call has entered in my voicemail, that will come here. And if I want to add certain speed dial, so these are pretty simple and meaningful information which is available by default. Now, one very important option is files. If I have whatever the files I have as part of my Teams usage in different teams, different channels, everything will be available under files. So this is Teams level files section where I can see all the files whatever have been entered in my Teams as of today, since the day I started using Teams. So if I don't know which team, which channel someone had shared file, but I know someone had shared file and I need to look out for that file, this is a place where I need to come and look out for those files. So in this case, I can see the recent files. I can see Microsoft Teams files. So this will show me all the Teams files. If any downloads are there, I have downloaded certain files, we can look out. And this always gives me option of OneDrive as well. So I'll not touch OneDrive today. I'll just skip this part. So apart from this section I will add, I'll cover a bit later. I'll first go through the default options what are available. So as of now, we have seen the activity, chat, Teams, calendar, calls, files. Apart from this, we have a chat option as well. If I need to create a chat with someone, I can just look out for some name. So it will be available whoever I want to chat with. So if I need to create a chat adding multiple people, I definitely can do that. So in this case, now you can compare one chat with a channel. A channel can have multiple participants working on or getting involved on collaboration. Same thing I can do with the chat option as well. So as part of chat, once I'll create chat, I'll say hi. It will create a chat option with all these members, and I will have all the options available what I used to do with one team channel. Till this point, any question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you went to Teams,
Hmm?
and you can see your teams, the teams that you belong to.
Correct.
Not all assurance teams.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So if you know that there is some team existing, then how do you join it? So in that case, you need to get the code, or otherwise that team owner has to invite you.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Do they plan to add dial-in to Teams for meetings?
That's a excellent question. Okay, I really will love to answer this. What happened is when Microsoft had added this calendar option, new meeting invite. Initially, what happened is if you create a meeting invite from Teams, it missed that dial-in option. But if you create that option from Outlook by adding Teams calendar, that is where it was providing dial-in option. But now Microsoft has even rolled out one more change wherein it is disabled by default. If we need to give dial-in option, we need to enable for that particular user at tenant level. Meaning, if I need to get dial-in option for my team calendar, I need to ask Jesse to go to my profile for my particular profile video conferencing option I need to enable. So this need to be enabled at tenant level per user. So whoever user need to request this conferencing option, we need to enable audio conferencing option for that specific user at tenant level.
I'm asking you to ask Jesse to enable it for everybody.
Yeah, is that
We,
possible? I mean,
I,
at
I mean,
assurance?
it's
it's
possible.
dumb. What if someone can't make it and you can't get to their Teams from your phone unless you give your phone back to assurance?
leave that-
Yeah.
I leave that option to Jesse. I do not want to answer that question because that's out of my scope area. So ideally, it is possible from Microsoft side, from tenant perspective. Now, how Assurant is dealing with it, that is all
Uh,
up to Jesse and tenant administrator, that whether they
And
want to
now
enable it or not.
I'll ask him to see what was the reason, because at the beginning we did have the number and then they took it away.
Correct.
Is
I
it
don't
because because Zoom is also available? Could
No,
it be
no.
that? No.
It has nothing to do with Zoom. Microsoft has removed that option, and now they are meaning now it has to enable per user. Previously, it was by default enabled. Now it is by default disabled from Microsoft side. Now, if Jesse need to enable, Jesse can enable it.
Right.
I would
I don't know
rather
if it's
take a
a
Zoom meeting.
licensing issue or something. I don't know.
Right. I mean, people are going to start using Zoom instead because they can do dial-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll ask him. We can keep going.
Okay. So the next, so we have covered these left pane menus. Anyone has any question till now? Okay, sounds good. So let's move on to next part, which is profile part. So now imagine if someone has invited me as an external user. Where will I see those options? These teams options are my teams, which is available under my organization. Where will I see if someone has invited me as an external user? Just click on this drop down. If you have been invited, you will see this option wherein people have invited you. So if I click on it, So I do not want to do it right now. So this will switch the organization, and it will show all the conversations and files which that external organization has shared with me. So this is where you will be able to manage your different accounts, your different organizations within Teams itself. If you click on your profile, you have awesome options available under settings. So now one very good thing available here is under saved, which I'll show you that where you can do it. Okay, you have, okay, I'll pick up something and I'll click on save this message. Some message I like it, I want to review it at the later stage. I've clicked on save, go to save. This message or that specific chat will be available with a highlighting that this is something which I have saved it. If I need to unsave it, I can do that, but this will save that specific message with highlighting, and the entire chat option will be available under saved one. So this is one good option, kind of bookmarks, which we do. So if we need to do, we can do that part. Now, next option is settings. We have a lot of things available under settings. When we come on setting, these all are very basic things like what to do, when to start, not to start, or not to keep running the application in background. Themes, I'll not leave on this. Privacy also, I'll just leave it. This is where we have different notifications. Do I want to see personal notification? Where? On banner and email? On banner, only show in feed. You know what is feed now? Feed is my activity section, which is the first menu available. Banner is when I'll get the notification. Banner and email, I'll get the notification as well as I'll see on my email. So now Tony uploaded a pic. Some people got notification. Some people say, no, I haven't seen any notification. Go ahead and check it for messages, for uploadings, for team mention, channel mention, personal mention, like and reaction, follow channel, whatever the different things we have. So we have all of these options available, wherein whatever the notification you would like to update or just make sure according to you, based on your convenience. If you want to get notification, go ahead and do that. You want to see everything on email, go ahead and make it everything on email. Want to turn off some notification, it's all up to you. These all are personal profile level settings which we have available.
But there is no option to have it only on email, right?
There is,
no.
okay, whatever the options, those are all by default. Cannot customize it, but yes, certain options are there wherein we can turn off, or otherwise we can make it to banner and email.
Yeah, looks like banner is always there.
Yes,
Okay,
because
no
whatever happen, it gives notification at least that there is some notification which is unread for me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Next, looking at devices, which is nothing. I'll just skip that. Okay, and then permission is again with the permissions. Again, this also has nothing to do. Calls, not really. So these are pretty default options, but notification was one of the important aspect which we can look at when using Teams. No, I asked this. Okay, you have any questions, Annie?
No, that it was very cool when you share the option to save the chat. I noticed that you can also share in Outlook, so it was that was an option that came to my attention.
Okay, okay, yeah, and those features, yes, definitely. I'll keep some part open to curiosity, wherein like you guys go ahead after the meeting and explore the things which are left out.
What about notification sounds? I know there's a lot of talk about Microsoft doing that. Is that coming soon? Because that sounds not very loud. So
which one? Sorry, Bill.
The default notification noise, I go boop. You miss that, you have no idea that there's a window someone wants you to look at.
So it is this one only, settings notification you're talking about?
Yeah. I don't think you were not able to customize the notification sound.
That's true. We have just this manage notification. Apart from this, we do not have much settings available on notification. They have given limited default options to do that. So that is where we can manage at least to see through. There are some team development options are also coming into picture, because now similar to SharePoint developer, Teams developer is a new role which is coming up in the market to customize everything on the Teams itself. So even that option is rolling out, but how much flexibility, how much power it has as a team developer, that part I'm not really sure. But definitely I can tell you that I have seen this part that Microsoft is now bringing up Teams development, wherein people can come, they can customize everything on Teams, whatever we can do, except out of the box features. Okay, so next we'll move on to, I asked one option which was attachment, that if I need to pick an file, from where I can pick it. So when it comes to attachment, so I can pick it up from OneDrive, I can pick it up from upload from my computer. Okay, so now in this case we can see two options. Let's go to chat, come out of this one. I'll do it. Okay, some particular this one. Let's see. It has two options. Go to Teams, go to a particular channel, then look out for attachment. We have four options. Did you get it now? The difference between a chat and a Teams channel? Now are you guys with me?
More or less.
Okay.
Okay.
In case of chat, we have a limited options available. As I mentioned, that when there is a very slight difference when it comes to chat and a Teams channel, lot of similarities are there. Only few places we will find differences. So now when I see chat, this is more or less a people specific, that I am going to collaborate with people, lesser on content, lesser on application, more on people oriented. So that is where now I can upload document either from my computer or from OneDrive. I am not supposed to look at different teams here. That is the reason now OneDrive is the one upload from my computer. I can upload files from local machine. I can upload it from OneDrive. But when it comes to team, because I am collaboration within teams, within different channel, look out the option. I can browse teams and channel and I can pick any file. I am browsing. Okay, let's do it on, okay, assurant somewhere if it is there. Okay, I have some files available. Okay, browse from teams and channels. See, it gives me everything. It gives me, currently I have like just two tabs here, but if I have multiple channels, I can pick any file from any channel and I can share it on any channel, because I am collaborating on Teams. I am not on a chat message channel. I am on Teams channel, where it gives me an option to pick any file from any channel to share it. So that is where it gives me these options. I can pick it up from my recent files also. So all the recent files where I have worked on, I can pick any file, I can share it. I can pick any file from OneDrive. I can pick any file from my local machine, that was always there. But browsing teams and channels was obviously a new option. And you can see I can pick up from any team. I can pick up from KPK, and inside their tab, I can pick up from RDA Global, Assurant, and any file if any file has been exchanged on that particular channel. So I can pick up file from there. So this was one of the good option available under attachments. Okay, till this point, any question? Yes, Roger.
Yeah, I have a question in reference
Yeah.
to security in that moment. If you share, you can pick
Mhm.
up a file from your channels that you have
Correct.
access to, right? But you
Correct.
are in a channel that, so you're sharing that with somebody else who is in this channel you are right now, that doesn't have access to the information you sharing from the channel, right?
If I am, so if I am picking it from teams and channel, this is where I have access. So if I have access to 4 teams, I will only be able to pick file from any of these 4 teams only. If I do not have access to a particular team or channel, that will not be available under this section, because it is completely permission trimmed. If I have access to RDA global teams and inside that 3 different channels, I can pick only file from this area. Where I do not have permission, that will not be visible only.
Okay, thanks.
Any other question? Before we will move on to one of very interesting and one of my favorite in Teams.
No
Okay,
question.
then look out for apps. So this part, when I was talking about Microsoft had designed Teams in such a way that we need to work on Teams and just stay on Teams only. No need to go anywhere. Now in this case, usually I'll pick up one example which Elvin does. What happened is Elvin is connecting Teams on Microsoft Teams app, and then he's switching to Chrome browser to look at our sprint. Can't we pull that sprint part inside Team only? Can we do that?
Yes.
But I'm aware. Try it.
Okay, so one hint, but I'll just skip that question for 2 minutes, and I just would like to show one of my favorite thing. It's a bot with the team only. Okay, now you have lot of apps. You can click on more apps and you have hell lot of app related to social and fun, sales support, productivity, product management. These all are different apps published on Microsoft Store. So we can pick any app and we can start exploring. So for just testing purpose, I am picking up Who app. I'm opening it within Teams. Now what it gives me an option. So I am saying, so it is saying, what can I do? So these are the different options available. And this is real-time data. This is picking everything from my Azure Active Directory. So whatever is available in Azure Active Directory, it pulls out everything. Click on who is. Now I am saying, who is Reggie? So I just asked this question. Okay. Reggie, and whatever the details will be available under Azure Active Directory, everything will be available. This guy works with whom? Who works with this person? See the list of people, all are available. Okay, I want to see this guy. Who is this guy? This gives me. Who is the manager of this guy? Here is a manager of this guy. Who are the peers of this guy?
That's really cool. It's more intuitive than Outlook when you want to look at something.
Definitely, for sure.
And
Can you look for groups, for security groups or email groups?
I'll leave some of the curiosity part to try out and test out
Everything.
because these are third-party apps provided by Microsoft in App Store. We need to see whatever is available. We can only look out for those. Now to answer that question, when it comes to group, I doubt, because this picks up from Azure Active Directory and it majorly talks about organizational structure. When it comes to organization structure, groups, I doubt it will be involved. It doesn't involve groups.
But Active Directory groups you can search for, correct?
That's true. We can search for, but what I'm telling is when it's a who, groups are the known existing people. Those are just the identities. Those are not the real people where they have, meaning they do not have the email, they do not have manager, they do not have reporting persons, they do not have peers, they do not have calling, they do not have audio video call enabled. So all these options are not available for groups. So that is the reason I'm saying it's little doubtful. But because I am working on this RDA Teams app currently, so I do not have the flexibility to test that group because I do not see if any group is there. But definitely we can try it in Azure, and we know a lot of service accounts. We can test by giving some name in service account. If those are coming up or not, I think that would be a point to test. So now we have organization. So if my Azure Active Directory is holding up a structure of my organization, this gives me that option. So I want to see something, it gives me if that organization structure for that particular person, name or alias is available. So if it is not there, it will not show me. But if it is there, it definitely will pulls out. And this is one of the out of the box app, which is a Teams bot available within Teams with a lot of things. Who knows about, who works with, who reports to. So we have few options pre-populated, and we can select any of these. So This is one of the coolest app. Now, I know you all guys have worked with the SharePoint search. Now, if I need to search up something in Teams, I know someone was there with Sunny. Is there any Sunny with message? Is there any Sunny with people? Is there any Sunny with file? I know something was there with Reggie. Is there any file name or something with Reggie? People, yes, there is. Message. There are some messages where Reggie is highlighted. I want to see something Tony available. Is it there? Some messages, yes, I can see where whether it's part of conversation or it's a people name or it's a file name. So similar to search service application in SharePoint, this also gives the same privilege wherein we can search it and we can find it under different categories. So we do have option of filtering as well. I want to restrict my message search from a particular person type. More filters, we can look out those different filters to trim down my search results, so to find a relevant results quickly. Any question till now? Okay, so nice. Now, one other thing which I asked you, if I have to upload lot of files in my Teams group, now how do I check whether my team has a capability to store documents or not, where I can do that? So in this case, imagine if I am working on this particular team group attachment, go to files, click on open in SharePoint. Once I'll open particular channel, which will ideally open SharePoint team site. Do you guys know that I am pretty sure this will be available that to everyone, that if I am doing sorry, if whatever the work I am doing on team, it is by default sitting up on SharePoint only. It's a complete thing is built on top of SharePoint. Okay, so I'll just open up in this one only. Site pages. So when it is a SharePoint site at the back of this site, I'll just open one. I'll just open any site which is available. So to show that, where is that option wherein we can check?
Type there. You mean any SharePoint site?
Any SharePoint site.
Any SharePoint site that we support today?
Any SharePoint site which is available. So what happens is when if I click on Teams and I click on Open in SharePoint, I'll go to Settings. I will have option of checking storage metrics. Once I'll click on storage metrics, it tells me how much is the total space capacity I have today, and out of those capacity, how much is being used under different verticals, how much is documents being document is using out of that entire capacity, site asset list, so that if I need to clean up something, I can do that. If I need to know that I need more space, I definitely can request for more space, and this space is available based on number of users in a tenant. Based on that, this space will be available, and a tenant administrator or SharePoint site collection administrator can control this space. So in this case, it has to be a SharePoint site collection administrator who can update the space storage quota of a particular site, starting from gigabytes to terabytes, depending entirely on tenant administrator or SharePoint site collection administrator. He can increase the space. He can increase the space so that we should not get into issues while uploading data to our Teams group. Okay, So next option, which one option I left, I just would like to give one quick overview on apps. Now, when we say we can add multiple apps. So now let's take our example, which I just left it for Elvin. Okay, so in this case, the very simple and easy, convenient for everything is web page, which is website. Okay, just give a website URL, as simple as whatever you want to give it. Okay, it takes with HTTPS. Google.com, save, post it into channel about. Okay, here you go. As simple as I am doing everything on Teams only. I do not need to get out of my Teams. So in this case, so imagine if Alvin has to run Tamboard inside Teams, can just simply add a new tab and just pick up website. Once I pick up website, copy the URL of our sprint planner, just paste it here, and we are good to go with the Teams only. We do not need to move out of Teams. Now, apart from Team, what all options are available? We have super fantastic options available with MS Teams. I can integrate flow within Teams only. Now, what can I do with the flow? I can run flow, I can describe flow, list flow. When I say list flow, this will automatically pick up my flow.microsoft.com account based on which account I am logged in, and it will pull all the list of flows which I can run. So this is one option. If I say list flows, it will try to pull out everything based on my this account. So in this, say currently there are no flows available. Please go to flow portal to create your flow and learn more. So if I will go to flow portal, which is flow.microsoft.com, and create a new flow, the moment I'll now come and type here list flow, it will automatically list all the flows. Now, can I run the flow manually within Teams? Yes. If a flow is set to be triggered manually, I can trigger that flow from the Teams itself. So this can be a button for me to kick off any flow at any point of time. Imagine there is a requirement wherein I want to trigger a notification, say downtime notification of CMA. In that case, I can create a flow, and that flow I can configure email address, I can configure participants, everything I have configured, and I have set the option to trigger flow manually. Now the same flow I'm triggering from Teams. The moment I got to know that some outage is there on Teams, sorry, on CMA, someone has pinged me, immediately I'll just come on this flow app, just say list my flows and pull out the list of flow, and after that just click on run for that CMA notification trigger, and this will become a particular trigger point for me for any particular flow from the Teams itself. And this is just one example. We have hell lot of apps available. We have Stream available, we have wiki pages available, we have Shift Planner, we have Microsoft Planner itself, we have Microsoft Forms. There was one topic or discussion going on, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, for creating surveys. We can have even our Forms app added within Teams itself. So Danny created a poll on the fly. Even if we do not want to create a poll, we want to create a full-fledged Microsoft form, we can create a Microsoft form within Team itself. And again, this will pull Forms account based on which account I am logged in. So if I am logged in with my Assurant credentials, it will automatically pull up my Assurant Forms account. If I will have privilege to access that, it automatically will get accessed. If I do have some permission trimming, or if it is not enabled by administrator, then I cannot do that. So this is one another good example which of different apps which we do use. So in this case, we have a lot of apps. I think we have something with dashboards as well. We have even Power BI. we have whatever the apps we can think of, we can just search in, or we can go for different categorization wise, whatever the different apps are available, which we just can use as plug and play. We do not need to code, we do not need to do anything. So it is just as simple as plug and play apps. Just install or add those apps onto your Teams channel and good to start with your functionality. So in this case,
So can you create a flow that and put it at the team level that we can trigger, like if fauna is going down, and then anybody in the team can initiate a manual flow to send an email letting everybody know that fauna is going down?
we can create a flow. Flow will be created separately. Whatever configuration has to be there, it will be there. So instead of going to flow portal, triggering that flow manually, I can bring all those controls here in Teams window, so that you do not need to switch. You are getting notification within Teams chat option that, hey, this application is down. Now, because you have flow application configured within your Teams itself, you can trigger that flow, which will send a communication. Or even you can make some of your app your flows customizable in such a way wherein it will generate some dynamic notification based on what is down. It will look out and it will do that part. So we can even do that options as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we need any more notifications for FileNet.
No, I was just thinking maybe on that email that we send, like when maintenance comes up.
We can definitely do that. We can definitely like do a small POC of setting up a flow and then triggering it from within the Teams itself and see how quick it is. So if it is really quick and we do not need to like create a template and look out for participants and do it something, so everything will be configured in flow portal. So we just need to click on run and that's it. And this is just like one command, or you just say run flow and it will tell you, okay, which flow you would like to run. Next option, it gives you CMA and few other notification. You just pick that particular one and it will automatically kick off. You do not need to be really technical or tech savvy to run a flow. You just have everything available as an end user. From the end user perspective, everything will be super user friendly.
But we would have to customize the date that it's going to go down. I mean, you obviously send the email.
Meaning those all things, yes, definitely we need to think through. Meaning I can pick a dynamic date like today date from the flow itself. Flow automatically will pick today's date. There we have all dynamic values, all dynamic variables pretty available. We can do that. Even if we need to like do some calculated columns, functions, we can write everything within Power Automate.
And the Power Automate can also like bring up a dialog box that you can enter values in there and then click OK, and then it takes on that, right?
We do have Power Automate options where it takes value from end user. So we do have that option as well, which will like accept some value and then based on that value, it works out. Now from which interface we are providing value to that flow, that is where we need to see through. Maybe we can go ahead and do some POC and we can check if from the Teams it's possible to just like say run flow with particular parameter and it accepts that parameter and run it. Because when it comes to integration of Microsoft Office 365 applications, it's really seamless. The only thing is we need to see how much it is available for us to manage our requirement, and definitely we can have a look at it. So all of these points, I say very simple answer is just like go ahead and do a POC. Once we'll do a POC, we'll get answer to all of our queries.
Yeah.
One question related to flow.
Yeah.
The environments, you will be bringing only the environment that is defaulted to you, or you can switch environment as well?
Meaning when you do a switch environment, we need to then put a authentication. So ideally, I do not see through the way to put a different authentication or switching your accounts. But what I can tell you from here is what we can do is, like, I can tell you alternate. You have Power Automate created, wherein when it comes to feeding authentication, you can feed any account, meaning you are using Outlook with prince.dhawan, you are accessing SharePoint with roger.hernandez, and you are using some third party API with sunny.karandi, and based on this you have created a flow. Now that flow you are triggering from here. That flow, because you have access to that flow, you are able to see that flow, and you are triggering that flow manually from within the teams. Whatever the authentication has to be taken care, that you already has configured within Power Automate only.
Yeah, but
Does that
yeah, but I would like to try to see if I can switch to a different environment as well from there. Or when I share the flow, then I will try that to see how it
generally, yeah,
works.
definitely. Meaning when
Okay.
you add an app, it just asks you allow. Are
Okay.
you allowing authentication or not? It doesn't give you option to authenticate by typing in your username and password. It just asks you allow, and it will automatically go and pick up your same account, because that is where they are expecting. If you are setting up a tenant and you are using portal.office applications, you have Teams, you have Skype, you have Flow, you have Power BI. Now what Microsoft is expecting at this moment, that you are using all the platform with your account only. So now if you need to switch account, I doubt you can do. Still, you can go ahead and do that by adding a Flow app if it allows you to do, or if you find some way to figure it out. I think that would be a good way to go.
Thank you, Prince.
So any other questions till now, whatever we have covered?
I have, but I guess that we are running out of time. So
Go ahead,
probably
fire it
for
up.
next time.
If it is
No,
a
that's
quick,
okay.
I'll answer.
Keep moving. No, they are not quick.
Okay. So whatever the major aspects of Teams, I have covered most of the aspect. Just one last point which I would like to cover is OneDrive for Business. How many of we are aware what is OneDrive for Business and why we are using it? Anyone who has answer to this question? Okay, good to know. So we do have one of very powerful application, which is OneDrive for Business. So I was about to have a session with Sunny. So if you guys would like to have a session on OneDrive for Business, I'll be more than happy to schedule it. So just to give overview, whatever we used to do with file share servers, whatever we used to do with our personal machine documents, then whatever we used to do on SharePoint site, we can discard all the three and we can start using OneDrive for Business. Now, what are the different limits, storage, all of those things? Definitely, I'll be like, if you guys want, I can schedule a session for OneDrive for Business and cover up. But I can just tell in one line, OneDrive for Business is actually a replacement of two major devices. One, your personal storage on your personal machine, and second, file share storage areas. So just to get rid of all of these things, OneDrive for Business is a perfect solution provided by Microsoft. So that's all concludes my session on Teams. So if you have any question, or if you would like to give me some suggestion, I'm pretty open and I would love to hear that.
Well, there is a limitation on the OneDrive for Business, right? Because if you store it on a file share, it does not get archived off. If you store it on OneDrive for Business, after a certain amount of time, your documents will disappear.
Who told?
What?
There is nothing. No, it is indefinite period until and
No,
unless
sir, it is not, because I
No.
just experienced it. You have to go to
Huh?
the OneDrive
Okay.
on the
Is it
through
for
Assurant
is it
Connect.
for a user? Is it for a user who left organization, or is
No,
it
it's
for an
my
active user?
it's my documents
Your
that I
document.
have on OneDrive.
Let's get on to a separate call with this issue. I'll help you to
I
troubleshoot
mean,
that part and
I
look
don't
at
think
that.
it's an issue. I think that's how
I
they
think
have it
it's a
set up.
policy. Probably the
Yeah.
policy that we have established.
if
push
it's
documents.
if it's a custom policy, I can agree, but it is not part of Microsoft by default OneDrive for Business policies, because as part of Microsoft OneDrive for Business policies, until and unless a user is active in organization, their documents will never go anywhere. I used OneDrive for Business very heavily in my last organization for 3 years. Continuously from my day one till third year last day, all the documents were as it is with OneDrive, and there is a default policy set for on OneDrive. Once a user left organization within 90 days, we can archive their data, we can back up their data. If we are not doing that, after 90 days, that data will get purged. Before that, it will never get purged, and all documents on OneDrive will stay till the time that person or that user account is active, their license is active on Office 365 portal.
Can we change OneDrive from not being our default, so whenever we go to open up something, it doesn't take 5 minutes?
What do you mean by if you need to change by default?
I want to store something to my PC, like I guess in Excel now, the default is OneDrive, and that I think there's a policy that always changes it back to OneDrive. Where's some network share where you spin for like 10, 20 seconds trying to save the file.
That's true because of its sync client, because whatever the changes we do, it real time within a second, it syncs up with cloud. That is the reason it takes little time to sync, but the moment it is synced, it's your file. And there, to get rid of that, we do have backup options. We do have like options. We can make it cloud only file, so that it will never get available on our PC, and it will not take time to sync. We will be working on cloud file directly, provided we have internet connectivity. Second option is keep it offline. Once you are done, make it online, so that you are done with your changes. It will automatically take off syncing part, provided your system is connected to internet and your OneDrive account is not in post mode. So these are the two prerequisites, and it will automatically take care of.
I would like to find more about that policy, because I mentioned this to you, Tony, that UDrive will be the commission. I don't know when. Clifton, DeFranco, and Steve, they mentioned that to us when we were in the SharePoint team with them. And I don't know where is that happening, but they suggested to move everything to OneDrive. But my concern is that I have a lot of recordings and a lot of information in my UDrive related to the SharePoint site, that if I move to the OneDrive and that is going to be deleted, that it doesn't make sense.
So we need to get what is the retention policies for OneDrive?
Yeah.
So I can get it checked with Jesse if at a tenant level, if their team has created a specific policy, but from Microsoft side, there is no such policy that after this particular time, their documents will get purged. The only point I can see is if our OneDrive is getting full. That is where I can see it may delete documents, because our OneDrive capacity is getting full, and how much we are getting on OneDrive, that's again point a question to how many E3 licenses a particular tenant or an organization has acquired. So like in my last organization, it was like 150,000 users. So there we were getting 5 terabytes per user just for OneDrive. And for SharePoint side, we were like getting by default 25 terabytes per site. That's all part of like E3 license. So in this case, E3 license are less, and on top of it, Jesse has put a control. So it's, I think, not even 1 terabyte. It's lesser than that.
Okay, I'll send him an email, see if we can get some information on that.
But OneDrive for Business is definitely one of the powerful applications. Once we start using it, we'll get a lot of benefit from OneDrive from Business. So like if majorly I'll say like our sharing option, co-authoring, then real-time syncing, working on any of the device, irrespective of where you are, accessing files will be super easy. So all of those features are pretty available on OneDrive for Business, and I really love to work on OneDrive for Business.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are 6 minutes over from our scheduled time. So if anyone has any questions, we can you can drop me an email or ask me anytime over IM team. I love to answer all of those questions. And if you really would like to troubleshoot with me on the policy and for deletion of documents on OneDrive, I really would love to do that.
That's okay. I store all my stuff on FileNet when I need to get rid of it.
Okay, that's nice way. Okay.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you, Prince.
Thanks, Prince.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Very informative. Bye bye.
Yes,
Thank you.
very good. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Bye bye.
Take
Thanks.
care.